Here's a short video about one of the most important LGBTQ film festivals in the world. Watch this. This evening, we feature the film Give or Take. When a disillusioned New Yorker's father dies, he goes home to Cape Cod and prepares the house for sale. Making the situation all the more difficult, he is forced to come face to face with his old friends, his old life, and his father's late in life live-in boyfriend. With nothing to separate them, they are forced to negotiate how to remember. This touching, funny, raw, and honest film is a snapshot of empathy and understanding that we could all use in the middle of the COVID pandemic. We welcome the director and co-writer, Paul Riccio, and co-star and co-writer, Jamie Efros, to Queer News tonight. Good evening, Paul and Jamie.
Hello, hello. Thanks for having us.
Well, Paul is on Cape Cod. I'm jealous as all get out. We were talking about that earlier, and Jamie is in Brooklyn, and I love Brooklyn. We were talking about the Black Party. Paul is the director of this film, Give or Take, and Jamie was the co-writer with him and the co-star in the film. Paul or Jamie, tell us a little bit about Give or Take.
Well, it seems like eons ago, but it started about 5 years ago when I had this kernel of an idea for a story about a guy whose father passes and has to go back up to Cape Cod to take care of his affairs. And Jamie and I have worked together before, and he's a terrific actor and a terrific friend, and I called him immediately. And one thing led to another, and we decided to write it together. And then we decided we wanted Norbert Leo Butz in the film. We had this character Ted that we wrote for Norbert, who's a terrific actor, two-time Tony Award winner. But at that time, it was like, sure, of course, Norbert will, in between him, Broadway shows and TV shows, he'll do our little movie, and it was magic. Got the script to Norbert, and he really was the person who sort of got this whole thing going. And then Sherry O'Terry, and no, it was really kind of magical the way it all turned out. So,
Jamie, have you ever co-written or co-starred in a film that has appeared in an LGBTQ film festival before, or is this first time?
This is the first time for everything for me. I've not co-written a film before. I've only done short pieces before, and I've only been in a few film festivals around the country and around the world. And this is our first foray into LGBTQ festivals, and it's been just absolutely fantastic the way that we've been welcomed. And we just feel so honored to be a part of OUTshine and to be a part of the other LGBTQ festivals that we're in right now. It's really been a lot of fun.
Well, as both Paul and Jamie know, OUTshine Film Festival here in South Florida is one of the largest festivals for the LGBT community in the world. And it's kind of different this year because there's this little tiny thing of COVID-19 going on, and as a result, the film festival has had to reinvent itself, especially with independent films like yours. What's it been like to embrace a film festival? You have several tremendous film festivals in the New York Metropolitan, Tribeca, of course. But what's it like to participate in a digital film festival that's had to reinvent itself in this year? What's it been like for you?
Well, it's okay. So the obvious downside is that we don't get to congregate and celebrate with each other and see each other and have that sort of that froth of creativity and meeting other filmmakers. So that stinks. Um, but the thing that I take away, I'm embracing it. I have an inkling that more eyeballs are going to see our film than otherwise would be during a normal festival, just because you can just sit back on your couch and watch it as opposed to getting to a theater or whatever. So there's that limitation taken away. And I think it's great. But the huge downside is just not being able to be with each other and celebrating and all of that. And it's so important to the festival circuit. So that's the real downside.
You know, Jamie, I'm curious in terms of you being the co-star of the film. If you're an actor on stage and let's say you're performing in front of 200 or 300 people, or you participate in a film festival, an independent film festival around the country or someplace in the world, and maybe 300 people are in a movie theater, is it a strange feeling for you that in a time of COVID, that really dramatically more people can be watching you than was ever intended in the traditional film process of your acting skills being seen, because so many more people are going to see you digitally?
Yeah, I think it's very exciting. And like Paul said, it's this strange double-edged sword, because we don't get that in-person experience, but yeah, it is really exciting to be able to just do what I do what we do for so many more people potentially than we would before, and just get that type of a spread and distribution and to be out there. I mean, where we all go as actors, artists, what have you, from there is the next question. I think that, festivals like OUTshine have done this incredible job of making it all virtual this year. The technology that they've suddenly had to embrace in order to make these films available in the way that they have, and to be able to make them still some of these exciting events, is really incredible, and it's gonna open up, I think, a whole new world of what film festivals and what online film festivals can be. So I think it's going to change the landscape of the way that we watch things, and also the inclusion of who we can watch, who we get to watch, who gets to have a voice.
Very interesting observation, because we're watching a LGBT independent film festival, one of the most important in the world, presented in a completely new way in 2020. And even this conversation is a completely new way that independent film and LGBT is displayed. We're in a digital live television LGBT news show talking about a film that you envisioned to never be digitally presented. And so it's a whole new world, isn't it, in 2020, that we're all reinventing ourselves. It's very interesting. Well, I want to thank you, LGBT America. You've got to support this film. It's called Give or Take. Go to OUTshine's festival site, outshinefilm.com. You can participate. More than 40 films, including this one, Give or Take. And we constantly remind, in terms of our voicing support from Happening Out Television Network, if you were ever going to support an LGBTQ film festival, 2020 is the year, because of the dramatic effects that are going on in COVID-19. It's affected 501c3s and not-for-profit organizations in our community significantly. OUTshine has been tremendously strong in reinventing themselves, and they deserve your attention. And this film, Give or Take, deserves your attention. So go to the website to see it. Paul, Jamie, thank you very much for being with Queer News tonight.
Thank you so much for having us.
And Paul, I have to say just one more time, the sun is setting over Paul, but he's in Cape Cod. You're in Cape
Yes,
Cod.
no, I'm sorry about the light. Just went down like a lead weight, and I
Yes.
apologize. But
Yes.
we're way east, so it goes down early.
But can I make the joke, twilight to darkness in Cape Cod? It's not so bad. Not so bad.
No, it's
Thanks.
not a bad place to.
Exactly. Thanks, guys, for being with us tonight.
Yeah, thanks very much.